How's it going? We are here for yet another late night review of Mare of Easttown. Now you might notice that it's not Sunday night, it's actually Monday night, but that's because Shari T and I watched the Oscars last night. So Shari, are you ready to talk about Mare of Easttown?
Yeah, I really like the show, so I'm looking forward to talking about it.
Sweet. You know, I think that we've done a few live reviews of shows now at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't reviewed like a straight up murder mystery as it's been going on, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah. So it's kind of fun. And one of the main aspects of a murder mystery is when they just start, going through all the different suspects and, oh, this person's a possible suspect and this person's a possible suspect.
Mm-hmm.
And boy, tonight they just were like falling out of a tree.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Sherry, you compared the show at one point to Twin Peaks, right? Tonight?
Yes.
When we were watching it?
Yes, I did, yeah.
Can you refresh my memory what that was about?
Twin Peaks is, for me, my earliest exposure to the girl who got killed in a small town and who did it, which it was great TV back in 1991 or when I think that's when it came out. And it's still great TV. This show doesn't have any of the quirk or distinctness of David Lynch, but it does have the girl got killed in a small town. And this episode 2, is revealing how many people she knew.
Mm-hmm.
And we see even more how closely tied all of these people are to each other. Everybody's someone's cousin.
Mm-hmm.
You can't walk in a convenience store without it being your friend from high school who's also the mother of the daughter whose murder you're investigating. It's really complicated and, like I said, all tied up, and people know each other in ways we don't even know about yet. It reminded me of Twin Peaks just because in Twin Peaks, Laura Palmer knew so many people. She had ties to so many people that broadened the list of suspects, and that's what we're getting here.
Yeah. You can't even walk into a Wawa. I think that was a Wawa that she walked into.
I live in Texas. I don't know what Wawa is.
That's like a Northeast thing. We have them, especially like in New Jersey.
So like Circle K?
Yeah, like Circle K.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
But when Evan Peters busted out that Wawa coffee, I was like, oh, I know that. I missed that.
Is it particularly good coffee?
No, not as good as like Dunkin' Donuts or, even here, Krispy Kreme, but...
Starbucks is what...
Yeah, it's better than Starbucks.
Anyway.
A little tangent there. Guys, listen, there's going to be spoilers for Mare of Easttown, so if you haven't seen the episode, go on HBO Max and watch it. Boy.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. It was. It got better and better. There was a lot of times where I thought it was just going to be like this kind of case study of how miserable this woman's life is and kind of her family issues that she had, and there was a lot of that. But I did like the introduction of Evan Peters' character. I liked his role.
Say who he is.
Well, Evan Peters, he plays this guy named Colin Zabel, who is a detective that they bring in from out of town to help with this murder mystery, right? And you guys will know Evan Peters from like American Horror Story, or he played Quicksilver. He was even in WandaVision recently. But I just think he's this real charming kind of actor to begin with. And he plays a real kind of charming character in this. What do you think of him?
I don't know if I'd say real charming. He's kind of this like puppy dog. I think he's higher ranked than her,
mm-hmm.
right? However, he's totally kissing her ass and looking up to her, and she's treating him like he's this annoying puppy dog that's there getting in her way.
Yeah.
And I actually started to love her character a little bit tonight. The first episode was just like getting introduced. She was, this kind of world-weary detective, and you just kind of had to see where it went. Tonight, I started to fall in love with her character. Like, she's been through it all. She's seen it all, and she just brushes everything off. Like, it's pretty impressive. And I'm specifically thinking of the scene where someone throws, or we know who throws milk through the window. This is where spoilers start.
Yeah.
Throws milk through the window, and glass gets in her hair and stuff, and she just brushes it off and keeps eating her sandwich.
Yeah.
Which might have glass in it. I was worried about that.
Yeah.
She wasn't.
Well, that's the thing, right? You were saying like that is a little Twin Peaks comparison. There's a lot of food in this show. Like, she gets a Philly cheesesteak from her mom.
It's in Pennsylvania.
Right. Okay, so she gets a Philly cheesesteak from her mom in the beginning, and at the end, she gets another sandwich from like that Wawa.
I know.
And when the milk comes smashing through her window, and there's glass everywhere, I kept thinking, dang, man, don't eat that sandwich. There might be a piece of glass in there.
I was thinking it, too. She doesn't care about shit like that. Yeah.
She went to go eat that duck intestine, or whatever, the
pate
or whatever.
Guy Pearce's snooty, uppity party that he invited her to, and then proceeded to ignore her.
Yeah, and so she spit it out, and then she stuffed it into the cushions. That was not cool, man. So I just want to address...
I think that showed like kind of what she thought of that place.
Okay. I just want to address my friend over here, Adit. He has chimed in on a couple of my different shows that I've done before.
Okay.
Adit, I'm not sure if this show is your cup of tea, man, but, welcome. And where's it streaming? It is streaming on HBO Max. So, yeah, thanks for asking, man. Anyway, Guy Pearce is still a possible suspect. Heck, even Evan Peters is a possible suspect for this murder, right?
I mean, I don't see that. He's from out of town. I think this is definitely someone who's in town who did it.
Who knew the girl, who knew Erin.
Yeah, but if this show's going to be any good, they need to have some surprises, so I guess it's possible.
Yeah, well, there's a nice big twist right at the very end there.
Yeah, it's a cliffhanger. They ended on a cliffhanger.
And we'll get to that. We'll build to it. But let's just kind of talk about what this episode is mainly about, right?
Okay.
It's a lot of fallout about the fact that there's this case. Okay, before we even get to that, let's just talk about how Mare's life just kind of sucks on 4 different levels at least, right?
I guess you could say that. I mean, it's complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated in a horrible way. Like, for instance...
I think it's horrible.
Well, okay, so her son, you don't know where her son is, right? We know he's dead. Well, turns out that he killed himself. And he killed himself because he had all these kind of psychological issues.
Yeah, that was revealed tonight.
Yeah. And not only did he kill himself, but that, his wife must have gone through some sort of trauma, and that she herself has been in rehab, too. And now the wife wants to get custody of his son, Mare's grandson, right?
Right.
And so that in itself is a family drama right there. That's one story right there. That could be a whole movie.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to cause her a lot of, strife and stress because she wants the child to stay with her.
Mm-hmm. And then that's just one aspect. Then there's this murder mystery that was lingering from, 10 years ago? Or is it?
No, it was last year.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm off. Yeah, her friend, who is also dying of cancer, her daughter's missing.
Sunday night depression.
Yeah, let's bring it on, right? So she, her daughter's been missing, and the town just totally thinks that Mare has dropped the ball with finding this daughter's killer or finding where the daughter is.
Right. The case hasn't been solved. I don't think they've even found the body for the murder from a year ago.
Right.
But now that there's a new murder, of course the town's like, it's the same person, it's related.
Same guy.
And of course the police are like, we don't know that yet. We got to see.
It's Buffalo Bill.
Everyone's impatient and doesn't want to wait. And there were some rude comments towards Mare.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They called her incompetent, and people just started shouting at her. There's a few people in this episode that called her out for it.
Yeah.
And one of the people that called her out was the father of the girl that beat up Erin right before her murder.
Right. Her baby daddy's shitty girlfriend.
Yeah, and I gotta say that baby daddy shitty girlfriend is probably one of the most despicable characters I've seen in a while.
Yeah, I hate her.
Yeah, she's awful.
She's the one who confronted Mare about her son committing suicide. Just threw it in her face.
Yeah.
It was, I'm sure, very painful.
Yeah, and she's not even hiding it. They videotaped her beating up Erin, and they showed the footage of her punching her in the face, and then that led her to getting arrested by Mare, and then that's when she did what Shari said, where she's just like, it's no wonder your son killed himself. That's just the worst thing you could ever say to a person.
Right. I think she and the baby daddy, I'm sorry, I don't remember their names. I think they are just young, stupid. Yeah. I didn't realize that Erin was only 17. That means they're probably around the same age, maybe a little older, but not much more. They're young and stupid, and I think a lot of teenagers are at that time and say a bunch of dumb things. They don't even realize the impact of what they're saying. So yes, she's despicable, but let's see her in 10 years, when she's 30 or something. And hopefully she'll, this is just me having faith in humanity, and we're talking about fictional characters. And I have faith in her fictional character's humanity that in 10 years she'll be a better person. Right now, though, she's awful.
Yeah, she's pretty miserable. At least she got arrested, though. Her name is...
She got arrested and embarrassed in her parents' restaurant.
Yes, yeah. She was in her restaurant with her parents. She's like a waitress, and Mare made a whole big spectacle of it.
On purpose to embarrass her.
Right, because she embarrassed Erin at that party in the woods.
Yeah, it was kind of this little vigilante justice thing, even though she's Mare's the cop and can arrest her, no problem. She did it purposefully in front of everybody. I think that's interesting about her character. That's all.
Yeah. And this despicable woman we keep talking about, her name is Brianna Del Russo. And her dad is the guy that kept confronting Mare and said that she was incompetent. And he's the one that threw the milk through her window at the very end of the episode. So he's probably going to be an ongoing problem in this show. And then the baby daddy that we keep referring to, his name's Dylan. And boy, that was a little shocking twist with Dylan this episode, right, Shari?
What? That he got shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron's dad is convinced he's the one who did it and, like, kind of kidnapped him, right?
Yeah, at gunpoint, yeah. He at that same Wawa. He was at that same Wawa that Mare was at.
Yeah, that was
right?
a nice little
small town.
Nice little scene where they leave the Wawa and she's pulling in. I love those little coincidences like that. Even though there are two ships passing in the night, and it would have been so important for Mare to catch them, but she didn't. Anyway, so what happens is...
Well, so the dad has him at gunpoint. He makes him drive on the turnpike, which that kind of reminds me of home, too. And I want to make a little point about the dad, too. He's kind of a mean dude, and he looks like Jonathan Frakes. Now, you're not going to know who the heck that is, but that's Commander Riker from Star Trek The Next Generation. But he looks like a mean Commander Riker. And so he's got the gun. He has the guy drive out into the woods. And
they had a scene where when they broke the news to Aaron's father, he was extremely upset.
Yeah.
Like overcome with grief, screaming at everybody, like a real nasty scene. Unpleasant, parents' grief when they find out their child's been murdered.
And in the first episode, he also showed that he was kind of a mean guy too, So
I don't think he's a mean guy for having grief about finding out his daughter was killed, though.
Right, but in that first episode,
yeah, I know,
he was kind of mean to his daughter, right? And in this episode, he's all like, "Oh, my daughter's dead."
Yeah, because people are sometimes harsh with the ones they love. It doesn't mean they want them to be murdered.
That is very true. So, he just shoots Dylan right in the back. Dylan tries to run away from him. He shoots him in the back, and I was not expecting Dylan to be dead by the second episode.
He might not be dead.
That's true. He could still be alive, and cops could find him or something. So let's talk about, let's see, I'm just trying to think. There's a lot in this episode.
That's not the biggest cliffhanger, I don't think.
Well, the very end, right?
Yeah.
But let's see. Can we just talk about
another suspect?
Yeah, let's get all these suspects out of the way because there's a whole bunch of them.
Okay. So a new suspect is introduced because everybody's in church.
Right.
And the priest gives like a very eloquent, heartfelt speech about Aaron's death. And later we see this priest talking to another priest in the back of the church. What's that called?
Rectory or?
Maybe. Anyway, they're talking and one priest says to the priest who gave the sermon, "Did you know her?" And he admits that he did and that she was part of your youth group and they didn't really keep in touch.
Yeah.
Period. But not period. Not period, because they linger on his face. He's having thoughts. You have to wonder, did he know her better than he's letting on? And does he know more than he's letting on? And that's pretty much all we saw of him. But in my experience in murder mysteries, priests are not good.
Yeah. I think, his name's Deacon Mark, right? And so he did have this great speech. And as soon as he was done talking, and as soon as the other priest was like, "Oh, yeah, she was in the youth program," I was like, "Oh, there you go.
There's the Laura Palmer for you.
There's your suspect.
She knows him too."
Yeah. So,
and he's kind of an attractive young priest.
Yeah. Did you notice that one scene? Because everyone's related to each other, right? And so the dad who just shot Dylan in the back, he's got these cousins, and one of the cousins is married to Mare's
best friend.
Right. But there was another cousin. Did you notice there's kind of weird scene where they're just kind of standing around the house together, and the one cousin asks the other one, he's like, "How you doing?" And just
he looked especially
suspicious, right?
Right. So he's probably another suspect.
Yeah. There's so many.
Does he have some sort of closer relationship with Aaron than we're aware of as well?
Yeah.
So there's that cousin. I don't even know his name.
I don't know.
Right. So we got the priest, potential. It's her uncle. Like, no. What are you if you're
the cousin?
If it's your father's cousin. What is he to you?
I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
And then the third suspect we found out about is
the cliffhanger. You ready for this one? It's Pam's boyfriend from The Office, man. The guy that was, remember, he's in Logan Lucky too.
I was gonna say Mare's ex-husband.
His name's Frank Sheehan.
Father of her son who killed himself, father of her daughter who currently lives with her, and grandfather of the son Dylan. Now, Aaron's best friend has come forward and said that she thinks that Aaron's got a secret baby daddy, and that it might be Frank.
Frank, he was an algebra teacher.
Right, and we had found out he was the algebra teacher.
Yeah. So when it comes to this kind of stuff, it's like what Shari's saying. It's like, oh, is it the priest that's trying to cover up the baby that he might have conceived with the girl? Is it the algebra teacher that's trying to cover up the baby? You know? Is it Guy Pearce for some reason, who just maybe she read his book or something, right?
He's the one who no one knows.
Yeah.
If there's any connection. That might be exactly why he's the one who did it, but we'll see. We'll see. Right now we have to get through all these suspects, and they have to be questioned, and we have to see what they're going to do and how they knew her and what their relationships were, because right now it's all very it's not explained. It's just implied that something's up with these 3 different men we've pointed out.
Yeah, and you know, we did get I really like this one comment that do you remember the user's name that commented on our stuff, where she kind of gave her perspective? No. Well, anyway, we got a good comment last time.
Dirty laundry? Laundry day?
I think laundry day was for a different video, but maybe it was for this one. I don't know. But anyway, they were just saying, I think it's this person is the suspect. I'm asking you guys at home. Shari and I are under the impression that Erin was killed by getting like hit by someone in the face, like, you know, that she was like bludgeoned, and that's why there's that wound above her eye. But they did keep talking about a gun and hearing a gunshot.
Yeah, they were asking about that, and we're not sure why they were asking about a gunshot.
Yeah, to me, like, that did not look like a gunshot wound to her head. So
I mean, maybe I missed something in the show, but I didn't see any reason why they would ask that. So if we missed something and y'all know why they're asking about a gun,
you guys are always good about knowing the details that we miss.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that.
Yeah. So Shari, I think, is there any other thing you want to talk about? Like maybe the interrogation, like where she was interrogating the different teenagers?
Oh yeah, that was kind of a fun scene. This episode was more fun than the first one, I'll say, even though it was like heavy on the depression, but I thought it had like some funny moments.
Yeah, well, that's something I think we didn't say in our last episode, was there actually was a bit of humor in the first episode too, like with the turtle tank, and like she was kind of driving around. I think she spilled something or some kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's kind of funny.
Yeah.
So when she interrogates them, they have kind of a montage of the kids.
Different people, yeah.
And it was kind of amusing.
Kind of reminded me of that montage in Wolf of Snow Hollow that we saw recently, right?
Yeah, where they're questioning people.
Interviewing all those people. Yeah,
yes.
But you know what? Maybe there's more to it too, especially, maybe there's a weird thing going on with the daughter, right? Because that would be her dad that might have had the affair with Erin, right?
Yeah.
And the daughter's girlfriend did say this kind of thing of that the LaRusso girl was like pure evil. So she's definitely kind of putting the focus on the LaRusso girl as a potential killer, you know?
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
So many suspects. And I don't know if you guys want to watch us try to figure out who did it, but it's just in our nature kind of to watch a mystery show and try to like guess it, I guess. But at the same time, I would love to be surprised. I understand if you don't want to hear us try to figure it out and break it down.
But we would actually love to hear you guys too. I love actually when people comment on our stuff and they have their own theories. That's like probably my favorite part about doing YouTube videos in general, is just connecting with strangers and hearing what they have to say, like what their theories are.
Yeah.
So unless you have anything else you want to say, I think we can wrap up tonight's episode.
We can.
We can? Okay. Guys, sorry we were late this week. It was the Oscars, right? Last night. But next week, we will watch Sunday night's episode on Sunday night, and we will review it live. And just one last thing before I end this broadcast, Shari and I just put up our video of our review of the 1979 classic movie, space horror film, Alien, right?
Mm-hmm.
Directed by Ridley Scott. It's still Alien Day, guys. There's still a half hour left. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out now on this channel. Go ahead.
And if you if you're worried you'll forget to tune back and watch us talk about Mare of Easttown, you can always subscribe and you will be reminded.
Oh yeah, there's people on YouTube, they say like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe.
That'd be nice. Yeah, thank you.